we head down under. Now, shares of BHP surging in Australia after Rio Tinto walked out of an investment with Chinalco and jumped straight into bed with the BHP. Of course, Heidi is on top of that story.
Sounds a little bit like a soap opera, Haslinda. We now have official confirmation that the $19.5 billion proposed investment by Chinalco has been cancelled. Rio Tinto has walked away. That deal is now dead. Stepping into Chinalco's place, BHP Billiton. It seems that Rio got a better offer from BHP. Why give over about a fifth of the company to the Chinese government when you can form a joint venture with your main competitor, pocket some money along the way and satisfy shareholders by selling them new shares at a discount? Rio, incidentally, has also confirmed that it will be issuing a $15 billion rights issue. Rio Tinto shares in Australia are still in a trading halt, but BHP shareholders certainly like the idea. BHP shares surging a little, almost 9% in the early going. BHP picks up where Chinalco left off. BHP will pay Rio nearly $6 billion under an iron ore production joint venture. It's a 50-50 split, so Rio and BHP will share assets in the iron ore-rich Pilbara region. There's already talk that this move could be a foot in the door for BHP. It's taking a bite, and it may have a go at the whole cherry.
We all know that could happen, but later this year, when the window of opportunity opens again for a UK merger, we know it's a 12-month lockup, we may actually see BHP back on the acquisition trail for Rio. So it may be a moot point.
As I said, Chinalco's $19.5 billion investment is now dead in the water. And while it says rights offer likely, but just in the last minute or so, we have had confirmation that Rio Tinto will pursue that $15.2 billion rights issue. That'll make it the second biggest rights issue this year after HSBC. One of the issues with the rights issue, though, Haslinda, of course, Chinalco still owns 9% of Rio Tinto. That makes Chinalco a major shareholder. So the issue going forward is, will Chinalco be able to participate in that rights issue or not? And we'll have to wait for the ink to dry on that share sale before we know whether Chinalco is going to be offered any of that rights issue. Haslinda?
Howard, some people are questioning about, well, the prospect for Rio CEO Albanese. I mean, what's the market saying about that?
Well, Haslinda, we're getting a lot of mixed opinions this morning, but I mean, the evidence is there. He's had 3 M&A deals go sour under his leadership. First, he saddled the company with about $40 billion of debt by buying Alcan just before aluminium prices tanked. And then he rejected BHP Billiton's takeover bid at the height of the commodity booms. And now we're seeing the Chinalco investment fall through.
The Alcan acquisition was a terrible strategic error and really what caused them to find themselves in this difficult position that they are now in. He has not really been doing what is in the best interest of shareholders, evidently, but is now turning around and listening to shareholders, so that is going to act in his favour. So potentially, with the shareholders getting what they want in terms of participating in the capital raising, they may be happier to see him stick around. But I think ultimately the board should be taking responsibility.
And Haslinda, the Australian Treasurer Wayne Swan is going to be having a press conference shortly. As you know, that this Chinalco deal really turned into a political issue here in Australia. It was very unpopular. Regulators here were due to make a decision on the Chinalco investment in about 2 weeks' time. And certainly, as I said, that would have been highly political. There was a lot of opposition to this deal. So, in a sense, it's taken some of the heat off regulators here in Australia. And we'll be back with more on what the Treasurer has had to say about that deal collapsing shortly. Haslinda, back to you.
Okay, Heidi Koch, thank you so much for your insights. Now, Japanese